Welcome back. Now, South Africa has said that the hosting of the World Economic Forum Africa Summit gives the country a chance to prove to the world that it remains a good investment destination. Department of Environmental Affairs Minister Edna Molewa joins us now from our Cape Town studios, which is where that event will be taking place. The Minister, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to all your viewers.
Firstly, let's begin by asking you the question of the significance of hosting the World Economic Forum Africa Summit. What is the significance of hosting it here in South Africa?
Well, it is quite important to note that as we have the world leaders in the business community, in the NGOs, also in governments, we showcase South Africa's importance, but also most importantly, Africa's growth opportunities. That's a significance because people who are very, very far away from here may never quite be able to see for themselves and to hear us actually discussing. So whatever challenge they could be or any question that they may have to ask, they're here now to actually interact with this government, to interact with the people of the African continent and people of South Africa. We are here saying Africa and South Africa is actually open to business. We have been very much aware indeed that according to the 2014 AT Kenny Foreign Direct Investment Confidence Index, South Africa has been ranked number 13 out of 25 of the leading countries of the world. We as Africa are projected to be a growth destination, possibly to the tune of about 4.5% this year as Africa. We are bound with many opportunities. We also have invested in South Africa and continue to invest in infrastructure to the tune of about 900 billion rand, let me round it off, over the next 3 years. And the tourism destination is indeed here. We've been chosen to also be ranking about amongst the 50 nations that are really good tourism destination. So it's important that we say all those things, we demonstrate all those things, and indeed that investment can be made on this continent, investments can be made in this country. For instance, we are here earlier on in your program, you've been talking about the growth in the energy sector. I do know that, in fact, as we are here in South Africa, we need to tell the people that we have actually put in place the National Resource Plan, Integrated Resource Plan of Energy. We've put in place the Green Economy Strategy, which talks to issues that are required, amongst others, the 8 pillars of growing our economy. That is around water improvement and investments in water, improvements in railways, improvements in many other areas, greening our transport in particular, but also greening our energy sector. We have actually been listening this morning also, according to the Deloitte report, that South Africa has actually invested heavily, and this is an investment destination, on the green and alternative energy space. Technologies are going lower and much cheaper, and this is in fact one area that our investors who are here can actually capitalize on to work with South Africa to grow our alternative energy. We have identified the blue economy space. Again, they're creating possibly over 1 million job opportunities over the next 10 years or so. 1 million job opportunities that are actually sustainable, but also growing our industry, like in the shipping industry, in the oil and gas industry, but also ensuring that we grow our harbors and our ports. That work has been done, identified. We are here to discuss it with the people, but also ensuring that we continue to do research in the space of the oceans so that we can utilize the economy that's in the oceans in a much more effective manner, efficient manner, and sustainable manner. Now, all that work has been done. What is left for us is to say, when people are here, our investors who are here, our very important CEOs and everybody else who will be here at WEF Africa will have an opportunity to really look at those. And we are a destination that is really very, very credible. According to the report of AT Kenny, we have been ranked as 13 out of 25 of the most important destinations. Banking facilities that are good, the fiscal and finance policies that are very, very good. In fact, all the laws that are in place here. So all we're saying is that come and work with us at this point in time.
Minister, you touched on the green economy, the ocean economy, which speak directly to your portfolio. But let's also speak about the role of women, which you can allude to as well. Gender parity is also one of the themes that will be at the forefront of conversations here up until Friday. Speak to us about that.
Well, let me start by saying that in the Africa development, the 2063 development plan, there is a whole lot of infrastructure, social development as well. And Africa on its own has actually identified and set aside this decade being the decade of women. And it is really meaning that there's got to be mainstreaming of gender and women in particular, women development within the whole space of development from an economic point of view, but also from a social point of view. Why so? Because indeed, it is a fact that on the African continent, there are still many other countries that do not have women being at the helm of driving economic activities and even making decisions themselves. So we are very happy that our leadership of presidents at the summit made a decision to make this a decade of women. And in fact, this means, therefore, that this forum and this WEF would need to take that particular point on board and ensure that whatever development and whatever investment we talk about, whatever we do, be it tourism, be it in infrastructure, be in social, in health matters and education matters, there's got to be women taken into consideration. What do they say? You invest in a woman, you invest in a nation.
Minister, what are the other themes that will be highlighted in this particular conference? Is the informal sector, and the phrase informal is the new normal. What assistance will be given to those in the informal sector? Perhaps one or two of our viewers, a local vendor or someone with a small business. What assistance can they expect to receive from the goings-on in the conference?
What an important question, Ayanda. It should really be made as a point that whatever is happening at an activity and an event like this one at the World Economic Forum, Africa, whether it's the Davos one, whether it's here, the ultimate end of a meeting like this one is to ensure that the benefits are actually reaped by our ordinary local people, because the developments shouldn't really just be on top and not go down. And it shouldn't be a trickle down. It is for that reason that we're saying it is important that as we continue to do business, the investments are done in South Africa, for instance. We're saying where we have identified the special economic zones, which are mainly in provinces that are in deep rural areas. Those investments would go there with special identified incentives by government, because we do incentivizing of those programs and projects so that business is attracted to those areas where they would not necessarily under normal circumstances go to and invest there for the locals to benefit. But also education, health matters are meant mainly for improvement of the lives of those who do not have good health facilities in this country. For instance, Minister Motsoaledi would probably be talking to the nation at some stage. But what we are showcasing, for instance, and talking about at this Africa WEF regarding health matters is the notion of Phakisa. This is a model that says, let's have big, faster results in the health sector. You know, President Zuma introduced also the Phakisa mechanism in the health sector. So South Africa will be showcasing and actually focusing on the development of Phakisa model within the health system. It would be going to education at some stage, but there is also a discussion on education. Those are social issues that really benefits and empower our people. We are saying, let us listen, let us be there, let us work with our government as we find these opportunities for our people and interacting with the big business community that are from all over the world that have now come to South Africa's shores to really do work with us, but also in the tourism industry. Remember, tourism can actually be develop into, and not can, it actually is being developed in an ecotourism mechanism where local people develop their own facilities. Let us begin to think big. Our local communities out there should say, yes, we know that people from WEF are here on the African continent. They are here on the shores of South Africa. How do we capture them? By developing our own BMBs, our own local municipality signage, and all that's necessary for us to actually be able to ensure that they too come back to this country and to this local community to stay in my small B&B and ensure that the money that they would be bringing remains in those local communities. And in that way, we are able to create jobs, we are able to fight poverty and really deal with these inequalities that are here within our nation.
As briefly as possible, Minister, just quickly take us through the program. You've already alluded to the fact that there'll be CEOs there, Minister Aaron Motsoaledi. Which other stakeholders will be part of the attendees? Give us the times and the significant occurrences from now until Friday, just in a nutshell.
There will be tonight an opening session. Of course, throughout the day, there are other private sessions. Tomorrow, every minister who is here, together with the CEOs and whoever, will be interacting in different workshops around these topics that I referred to. Infrastructure, education, health, financial matters, and so on. Investments opportunities. As we are saying, we are open for investments. But also the presidents will be here, some of the presidents and the head of states and leaders of delegations from various countries, interacting for the whole of tomorrow. And of course, as usual, the Sore, which is the Mukete, will happen tomorrow evening. And on Friday, we'll continue with same business. At the end of the day, by the end of Friday, we shall be saying there has been enough interaction. Tonight, the leaders of business are meeting with leaders of government, where President Zuma and ministers will be interacting, asking questions, them getting clarifications on certain things that they may want to hear from us. And then, of course, on Friday, there will be a closing event, which is a farewell function for everybody.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. Environmental Affairs Minister Edna Molewa, bringing us up to speed with WEF Africa 2015.